2-person convicted of a Class A1 felony or a violent felony. Okay, so corrections laws, 700. Felony means a felony in another state also. A revocable sentence means a sentence or a sentence upon which execution was suspended, or a sentence of probation or conditional discharge. So 2 or more felony convictions in separate counts of 1 indictment or information shall be deemed 1 conviction. 2 or more convictions of felonies charged in 2 or more indictments or informations filed in the same court prior to entry of judgment under any of them shall be deemed to be 1 conviction. So then it goes into this thing about the VTL. And I think this is talking about a commercial license. It says no such conviction shall be deemed to be conviction within the meaning of the law by reason of notwithstanding any provisional law except subdivision 5 of the public health law or something about the VTL, conviction of a crime or an offense specified in a certificate of relief shall not cause automatic forfeiture of any license other than a license issued pursuant to 400 of the penal law. 2-person convicted of a Class A1 felony or a violent felony, including the right to register or vote at an election, or automatic forfeiture of any right or privilege. I don't know what the hell this is saying. Or barred to lease a license, permit, whatever. Provided, however, that a conviction for a second or subsequent violation of 1192 committed within the prior 10 years shall impose a disability to apply for an operator's license, and provided that a conviction for an A1 felony or a violent felony shall impose a disability to get a gun. I mean, I don't know how they could possibly ask this, but just in case, it says a certificate of relief from disability imposed pursuant to something in the VTL, which I'm not going to look up, but 510 of the VTL, which is not on the test, may only be issued upon determination that compelling circumstances warrant such relief. So I guess it is possible. If it's issued by courts, it may be issued for a revocable sentence or a sentence other than one executed by commitment to the State Department of Corrections at times that's imposed, in which case it may grant relief from forfeitures as well as disabilities, or at any time thereafter in which it only applies to disabilities. Where such court either imposes a revocable sentence or imposes a sentence other than one executed by upstate jail time, the court upon application shall initially determine the fitness of an eligible offender prior to or at the time sentence is imposed. Prior to or at the time sentence is imposed. And then it further says that the certificate shall not be issued by the court unless court is satisfied, A, person is eligible offender, B, consistent with rehabilitation of the eligible offender, and C, consistent with public interest. But then, okay, so you know how it says public interest up there? Then when you go down to there's something where it doesn't say public interest. Oh, yeah, it's here in subdivision 7 when it's talking about the certificate of relief issued by the Department of Correctional and Community Supervision. And it says presumption based upon federal recommendation. So when there's a federal district court in this state and department gets a recommendation in favor of issuance of certificate, the department shall issue the certificate unless it finds that the requirements of A, B, C, and D are not satisfied, or that the interest of justice would not be. Okay, so if you use a revoked certificate, you are guilty of a misdemeanor. And then in 705, forms and filing, all applications, certificate, and orders of revocation necessary for the purpose of this article shall be forms prescribed pursuant to agreement among the Italian guy who's the commissioner of corrections, chairman of the Board of Parole, and administrator of State Judicial Conference. The form shall be distributed by Office of Probation and Correctional Alternatives and Department of Corrections. Any court or department issuing or revoking a certificate pursuant to this article shall immediately file a copy of the certificate or the order of revocation with the New York State Identification and Intelligence System. And it's not a pardon. We know that.